Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a special edition of the RandyRun show. This is not the usual RandyRun show all of you know. This is actually a prediction show with the lovely Nils Vium. Vium, welcome to the show, Vium.
Thank you very much.
And for all of you who haven't been following us lately, we have had a league in Denmark called Dansk Metal Star League. And this weekend, the 1st and 2nd of June, we have the championship bracket. The championship bracket is consisting of 8 players, 4 from the Super Division 1 and 4 from the Super Division 2, all of which have been playing division play the last 7 weeks and has now been qualified for the championship bracket. And why have I brought Vium on to this show to talk about the championship bracket? Well, that's because Vium was so close to qualifying for the championship bracket. It's actually kind of sour to be him. I can imagine how sour you'd felt after the last round. Am I right?
Yeah, definitely not the luckiest situation.
Yeah. Well, I think should we start off with a little introduction of who you are, actually, if nobody knows?
Yeah, sure. I am Nils Vium, under the nickname Vium, also known as Vium Master, but yeah. 18 years old from Jutland over in Denmark, and yeah, I've been playing StarCraft since the beta, so been through lots of stuff, but only like competitively, it's only been for a year or something.
Mhm.
So yeah, what else? I'm Protoss.
Boo.
Yeah, pretty awesome.
Oh
Of
yeah.
course, we are trying as best as we can, even though it's really hard these days.
Yeah.
We hope to
I
pass.
I can kind of see how hard you're struggling at the moment. There's like one Protoss qualified for the WCS Season 1 final at the moment.
Exactly, and he got kicked out 3-0 in the first round of 8.
Yeah, and you didn't
So,
qualify for the championship bracket. It speaks a tale, actually.
mhm, really much. I hope we have Blizzard on our side. It's
Hope
the
so
only
too.
way.
I hope so too. But as you can see right here, if we should just switch screen, we're going to look at the championship bracket, which consists of the following players. We have in the first game Bunny versus Thorminator, Abacan versus Pink in the second game, and in the lower end of the bracket we have Black Kitty versus Sunder, as well as Cupcake versus Strinton. What we're going to do today is we're going to go through a little bit of the division play, look at which results we had from the last 7 weeks of division play, and of course I'm going to use Vium's expertise, knowledge around StarCraft 2 as much as possible, because I'm merely a little bit of a I don't know much about StarCraft at the moment in Hearth's form. I haven't been able to play as much as I would really like. So if I gave my opinion on this matter, nobody would trust my opinion at all. So that's actually why I brought Vium on. And since he was like 2 maps from qualifying, I think he was the natural choice for me. So if we take a look at the Super Division 1, as you can see right here, talk us through it, Bunny. Not Bunny, Vium, sorry. We have Bunny in the top, taking as a 7-0 score. Not really much of a surprise, Vium, do you think?
No, well, obviously Bunny is right now, besides Baby Nine, the best player we have in Denmark, and so it's not like we have other top players in the Dansk Metal Star League. So it's not actually anything that I am very surprised of that he is 7-0.
Mm. Well, what about the 3 other players? We have Black Kitty with a plus 10 score, as well as Pink and Strinton, very close, following each other with a plus 4 and plus 3 in map scores. Are you surprised with the rest of the players qualifying for championship bracket in the Division 1?
I wouldn't say I'm surprised that these 3 very talented players qualified as well, but I think it's very interesting that Black Kitty have a 10 plus score and Pink only have plus 4, because I see Pink as a much stronger player than Black Kitty at the moment. Pink is super strong. I know that one of the reasons why he only got 3rd place was because he lost 2-0 to Black Kitty, which was very surprising to me. But he has been struggling a lot versus Cirque lately. So that's probably why. I don't think I know that much of Black Kitty to say that whether he's good or bad, but it seems like he's pretty good, more than I thought.
Yeah. And I have actually recently conducted an interview, which all of you will be able to see, the 1st of June, where we're gonna show the round of 8 matches, where we actually talk a little about his results. And I think a lot of people was surprised that he took the place over pick and even took the 2-0 victory against him. But well, plus 10, it speaks a tale, and we're gonna go into details later, like with Black Kitty's match exactly. But we're gonna take a look at the Super Division 2 right here. We have Cupcake in the leading position with a plus 8. Was that surprising to see Cupcake take the number 1 spot?
Yeah, I really think so too. He's a very talented player. He played a lot of Warcraft 3. He was a pro gamer there. So that's, I don't know what it is, but he doesn't play a lot. He plays like just enough to keep his bonus pool down on the ladder only. That's like two times a week or something. So I'm really surprised to see him in the top of the Super Division 2 because he doesn't play very much. He's just out of training, but when he plays, he obviously plays really, really well. And he beat Aokatten, was it 2-0?
Yeah,
it's
I
really
think
impressive.
Yeah, I think so.
Really, really impressive. And he also beat me 2-0. I actually thought that maybe I could take him down, but...
Well, how is the PvP matchup in Half the Swarm at the moment? Because I know in Wings of Liberty, a lot of the time it was very coin edgy, if you could say it like that. How is the gameplay in Protoss versus Protoss in Half the Swarm?
It's still coin flipping, I would say, because obviously some builds are better against others. We also see that in many good examples in the WCS. But it's much more fun to play now than it was in Wings of Liberty. There are so many more options, and you can you can go for macro. You can go for more safe play of macro with a fast expand because of the multicore now. And so there are a lot of transition out of that. But there's also something like a proxy oracle or just oracle play right now. Or what most people do is actually 2-gauge Stalker Rush into whatever. Like you can go DTs because it's cheaper as well. But you can also just go for the free gate expand or free gate into oracle or anything like that. So there are many options. It's really funny to play now.
Okay, well that's at least something, I think. But overall, the Super Division 2 was the closest division of these two, with like the 2nd and 3rd and 4th place even, as well as your own in the 5th place, Vium. Very, very extremely close. We even had Throw and Utopia only like Utopia was only like 6 maps from actually qualifying for the championship bracket, as well as Throw only being 4 maps away. So you've experienced this division and played against all of these players. What do you think right now when you had a little time to actually digest the loss of not getting the championship bracket? What are your thoughts about this division?
Well, I think this is the stronger division, in my opinion. People are just better in this division. I don't know why, but obviously it was not you who made the brackets, the groups. It was ourselves. So that was random. But I don't know why. I just think people in Super Division 2 is super strong, all of them. Raggy has lost all of his matches, so I'm not sure if you can say that he is one of the best players, but it's still like Utopia, Dro, the rest is like really, really top class level, and I think that's why it's super close. In Super Division 1, we see 2 players with -11, -12, and then it goes from that to -3, -5. So you could say in that division, it's 6 players in the top who are all really good, and in our division it's 7, so it's one more who's even closer. It's like -4 to, as you said, 6 map away from qualifying is the one on place number 7. So yeah.
Well, are you surprised that you didn't qualify yourself? Did you expect going into this division? You said there's a lot of good players in this division. Did you expect to be placed under the 4 players in the top positions at the moment?
To be honest, I didn't at all. I wanted to be at least top 3 or 4. So, well, in the beginning it was a very different game than what it is now. So it was hard to tell if you were better than the other players. But as I saw myself and my skill, I was better than at least 2 of the people in the top 4. So, yeah.
Okay.
That's very disappointing, but that's how it goes.
Well, How do you feel about the three other players, Avacat and Sunder and Thorminator, that actually qualified? What do you think of their skill level compared to the four players in the Super Division 1 who have qualified? Do you think they have the upper hand going into round of 8?
I'm not sure at all. I mean, Bunny is the best player of them all, I would say. But again, Cupcake, Aircat, and Sunder can all really surprise him, as well as the other players from Super Division 1. Overall, I think it's kind of even, actually. I don't know, maybe it's Super Division 1. I think maybe Strindon could take out Dominator if they were supposed to play, but they aren't, so I don't know about that. But then again, Aircat and Sunder, super strong players, and since Cupcake got on top of them, he can really take out some good players from Super Division 1. So
Yeah.
it's pretty even, I think.
Well, that I feel that's a natural transition going into the championship bracket. And let's talk a little about that. As we see in the first game right here, I can just switch the screen so people can see it a little bit more clearly. In the first game, we have Bunny versus Thorminator. Bunny going 7-0 against an opponent who only went 4-3 in games. What are your expectations of this game? Do you think it's going to be exciting, or do you think it's going to be a rollover for Thorminator? For Bunny, sorry.
To be honest, I think that Bunny will take this pretty easily. Maybe Thorminator can cheese him out, but again, Bunny is pretty good against everything, so I don't know what to do there. Also, we kind of haven't seen any Zerg versus Terran from the Super Division 2, since there are no Terrans in Super Division 2. So we can't tell anything from that. Maybe he would do very good against it. I don't know how good he is against Terran, actually, but I think maybe he could pull some cheeses out. Maybe take one game of Bunny, but then it'll be it, I would say.
How do you think Thorminator is practicing for this game? Which preparation will he have to take to even have a slight chance to take even a map against Bunny?
Well, play only Terrans. Try to take everything he can out of the CBT practice. Maybe just watch live play the guy, the Zerg player, and just take one of his cheeses, just practice and practice and practice. And maybe go into deep replays of Bunny. Check out his playstyle and see where he's weak. And you know, from Copenhagen Games, Morten Storm took a game of Bunny with an all-in. So that means Bunny have been weak at that point. So he is obviously weak at some point. So maybe Thorminator can analyze a bit of his plays. And then it's like what the DSL players do. If Live knows he's going to play Flash in 3 days, he's only going to play styles against Terran that would work against Flash.
Okay. So exactly, what are your expectations of this result? To all of you who don't know, it is a best of 5 in the round of 8. What are your expectations for the results in this game?
3-0.
3-0 for Bunny?
Yeah.
What do you think the chances are for Thorminator to take at least one map?
50, I don't know, 40% maybe.
40%.
You could take a game.
Well, let's cross the fingers for that. Well, moving into the second game in the upper part of the championship bracket, we have Avocaden versus Pink, and a very exciting game, to be fair. As you can see right here in the Super Division 1, Pink went 5-2 and 10-6 with a +4 in map score, taking the 3rd position in Super Division 1. And his opponent, Avocaden, took a 2nd place right after Cupcake, but with even map score with Sunder. The only reason Avocaden actually got the 2nd place is because Avocaden took his game against Sunder when they played. He had a 11-6 map score, which means a +5, and they're going to meet off in the round of 8. What do you think we can expect from this for this game, Avocaden versus Pink?
That's going to be, like, I think the most interesting game of them all. I really like PvZ as a matchup right now, and so that's one of the reasons why it would be very entertaining, first of all, but also because Pink and Aircaden are 2 players at the, I think, same level of skill. I don't know who is actually the best. I think maybe Pink is a little bit stronger overall, but again, his PvZ is not the best right now, I think. I'm not 100% sure about this. Maybe he fixed some, but in the last 2 weeks it hasn't been the best, so I know that. And maybe Aircaden could take this maybe 3-2. But again, Pink is also super stable and has a good mindset and stuff in the tournament, he can do very well. So he could also just as well win the series 3-2.
Yeah, you yourself have met Abercarden in your division. How did you feel going against him as a prologue with your play style? What did it feel that he had your cornered, or did you feel that you actually had a chance to really play up to his level?
Of course, I thought I have a chance against Abercarden. Back then, I was also really bad against Zerg, I remember. So I wasn't very confident in that matchup right there, and so I wouldn't say scared, but I know how good Abercarden is. So it was kind of like I could win, but I could definitely also lose. But what I want to say is that against Abercarden, I lost 2-0, but I could have taken him down 2-0 as well, and so could Pink do right now. He could win in 3-0, but he could also lose 3-0. It's a very weird matchup also. So yeah, it's really hard to say. It's going to be very entertaining.
So this is the game of the 4 that you're most you're most excited about.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. Oh, you little proto scum. Well, I actually agree a little bit, because I think, as you said in the start, that Abercarden and Pink is fairly similar in skill level as far as we've seen. And do you think that these two players are preparing specifically for this game and this game only in the following days before the 1st of June?
Actually, no. I don't think. Maybe they practice some a bit on ladder sometimes. So, of course, if I was Pink, I would analyze the replay once again, because I would know if I was going to play him in this championship bracket. So then I would definitely look into the replay and check out his style and stuff. But I don't think they have that much replays of each other from these days. So I just think that maybe Pink will play a little bit more against Zerg as much as he can. He has two very good practice partners, Zerg players from Finland. I think. Wait, there's only one Zerg player. No,
yes.
There's two. Mini Racer and Sandster.
Yeah, exactly. I could only remember Sandster actually. So
Mini Racer also, two young guys who are very good as well. Really strong Zerg players. So you could definitely practice some PvZ there. Maybe Abercarden will do the same. I'm not sure how he practices.
No.
I think he is also really early up in the morning. I've seen him sometimes.
Well, he's still young. He's still young.
Yeah, exactly. So that's definitely a good thing.
Yeah, I agree. But I actually, when I went into this interview, I wanted the results from you. I know this is a very volatile matchup, but I need your prediction for this result. You've met Abercarden and you know how good of a player Pink is. What are your expectations for the results after this best of 5?
I think Abercarden will do fast ultralisk. He likes that.
Is that good or bad?
That's a good question. So I think maybe he would take at least 2 maps, but then again, Pink is also super strong, and I think he knows how to play against this. So, so I would say 3-2 for Pink.
Okay. Thank you for giving me a straight answer. Not a lot of players would do that. I think a lot of players want to stay neutral whenever you're asking about other players they actually know and are friends with. So, yeah, 3-2 to Pink. Okay. In the lower part of championship bracket, we have first of all a Zerg versus Zerg matchup, Black Kitty versus Sunder. Looking into the Super Division play, we have Black Kitty, as we talked about before, taking the second place with a +10 in map scores, going up against Sunder with a +5 in map score, taking the 3rd place in the division. Only one map away from taking over the 2nd place from Abercarden. Do you think this match is going to be exciting? Do you think we all know, everybody knows that Black Kitty likes to play the old school style with Brood Lords and Infestors. Do you think that his play style condones this Zerg vs Zerg matchup at the moment in Heart of the Swarm?
I don't watch that much CVC, but when I do, I never see Infested Brood Lord. But again, he beat Pink 2-0 with it, and I don't see it in CVP either. So of course it could work. But I still would say Sunder is a much stronger player than Black Kitty. And if you look at statistics from the group play, we see that Black Kitty has 100% win ratio against Zerg, but it was Korax and Wrath placed number 7 and 8th.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how much you can tell from that when talking about a class player like Sunder is. So I would say, but again, he could take a map or two. So like Sunder would win this. I would say he would win it 3-1.
Okay. Would you? We talked about before that in Avacat versus Pink, any result could be, both players could take a 3-0 victory. But would you be surprised if Black Kitty took the victory against Sunder?
Yeah, I would be surprised if he took the win. He could win it like 3-2, but again, I think Sunder is just so strong, especially in tournaments, and he has this mindset of he can stay completely ice cold in a good way, so that if he loses one game, the first game, I saw that in Copenhagen Games as well. He lost the first game in the semifinals to Aokat, and then he went, oh, okay, but I know exactly why I lost, and then he went on to win that 3-1. So that's maybe that's going to happen. Maybe Black Kitty again could surprise Sunder in the first game, but then Sunder would go, oh, okay, and then it's just gonna crush him afterwards.
Wow, you know so much, Vium. I love you. Oh. But that's actually quite interesting. You're going to say that, because looking at the results, I think what you're directing all of this at is that we saw Black Kitty with a +10 in map scores in his division. But again, you said that the Super Division 2, which was the division Sunder was in, was a much harder bracket than Black Kitty's. So do you think we can't really take too much out of the context from division play when we're looking at the round of 8 in championship bracket?
Yeah, I would say you can't take too much of that, because obviously you can't take very much of the CVC of Black Kitty from Super Division 1. I mentioned that just earlier. But and because of that, you could say much more about Sunder. He played a lot of Circus Zerg. So and I just know how strong he is. So yeah, Black Kitty winning all of his games almost, except against Bunny, was great, but it wasn't against any notable Zerg players. So you can't tell very much from that.
Okay. So straight result, Sunder winning the game, what?
3-1.
3-1. Okay, thank you very much. And now I think your special analysis, your special analysis. Oh my god, your special analysis. Your special knowledge is going to help a lot in the last prediction, which is a straight up Protoss matchup. Cupcake versus Strindon. And if we take a look in the division play again, we had in the first division Strindon barely advancing to the championship bracket with a +3 in map scores in 4th position, meeting up against the top placed player in, as you said, the toughest bracket of them all, Cupcake, with a +8 in map scores. Going into this matchup, do you think that these two Protoss players are going to show some good games? I'm quite interested, because you know all about Protoss play. You play ladder like constantly, and you play. I could only imagine a lot of Protoss versus Protoss. So these two caliber players, Danish caliber players, could they show the caliber of play that Dansk Metal Star League needs to show to the viewers?
Yes, they can. They really can. Cupcake, I would say he is the stronger player. He is rank 1 versus rank 4 from these group stages. And I played against Cupcake. He seems to have the most solid style. It's not like early expand, which is very uncomfortable against early aggression. It's not like he is doing early aggression that has to do damage. He's kind of like just playing it safe, just making units, not just being greedy one way or another. It's not like he's trying to get an expand early, not getting any units, or trying to not get any units and then get a lot of units in a very, tight situation. nothing of that. So I just think, and he's also very reactionary. Like, he sees what you do and he just knows how to play against it, even though he doesn't practice at all.
Yeah.
So that's very impressive. Strinton, I haven't played a lot against him lately. I lost last time I played against him on that.
Mhm.
But so yeah, he has quite a good PvP. Not sure what his style is. Can't remember that. But yeah, I would say really interesting games can come here. I would say that Cupcake is going to win this, certainly. But it's not like it's going to be 3-0. I think 3-1 or 3-2.
Okay.
So Strina can also easily take a map or two.
So it's another game where you wouldn't be surprised if it went either way.
I would be surprised if Strindon won the whole series, because I also know that Cupcake has of tournament experience from all of his Warcraft 3 professional career. So he does know how to manage situations like that.
Well, I have a cool little twist in the end before we finish talking about Cupcake versus Strinder, because right now, as we speak, Cupcake is actually on vacation, and he won't come home before Friday afternoon. And as you talked about in the beginning, that Cupcake stays in Gold Grandmaster, he has good results in the division play, even though he haven't practiced so much. Do you think that going on vacation right up until the games are going to be played this weekend, the 1st of June, is going to have an effect of the outcome?
Not at all.
Not at all?
No, he knows how to play the game, and doesn't matter. Like, he uses all of his APM in a good way, so it doesn't matter if he is practicing 10 hours a day to get a high, good mechanics and stuff. He has all that, and he's just using his APM in a good way, like I just said. And so a vacation will just give him an even brighter and more clear mindset for the matches, I think.
Wow.
So it's not going to be a bad thing at all.
Okay. So straight up results.
It's really hard. I would say 3-1.
3-1 to Cupcake. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I wasn't meant to actually going into the rest of the bracket, but because you gave so straight results, because I asked you to do so, I think we should take a little look, just a little look on the semifinals. Just a little look. Okay. In the upper half, you said that Bonnie would advance 3-0 against Thornraider, and in the second game, you thought that Avakaden would take the victory, 3-2. Am I correct? I think you said 3-2. So in the semifinals, we have Bonnie versus Avakaden. I don't want any. What?
I think I said that Pink would win that 3-2.
Okay, Pink advances then. Shit. Okay, Bonnie versus Pink.
Yeah.
Just the results, no analysis. Just the results.
And that's a best of
5.
Best of 5. 3-1 to Bonnie.
Okay. In bottom half, you said the following players would advance, and now you have to say it because I don't want to fuck up again.
Sunder and Cupcake.
The results from that?
Cupcake 3-2.
Cupcake 3-2. So that means we have Bonnie versus Cupcake in the final. Results in the final would be?
Best of 5.
7.
Best of 7.
Yeah.
Bonnie will win that. He will win 4-2. 4-2.
4-2. Thank you very much. Do you have any final words before I cut you off and distribute all of this shit out to all of our many viewers? Not that many actually. Any shoutouts? Any personal plugs?
Well, you can follow me on Facebook. Facebook.com/ViumMaster with double M. Shout out to my team, Ad Gaming. It's a Netherlands team. You can find them at @gaming.nl or follow them on Facebook @gaming. CM Storm, our sponsor, who should be delivering me some gear in very short time. Not sure much else. Thank you.
Well, I just want to say thank you very much, Vium, for coming on, and I think there's some excellent predictions you made right here. My name has been CK, and this was RandyRun Show Special Edition with Vium. Predictions of the Championship bracket for the 1st and 2nd of June 2013 for Dansk Metal Star League Season 1. I hope all of you are going to tune in. Have a great one.